Hey everybody, welcome back to the next perfect portfolio overview. It's an exciting day because we're having explosive things with the company happening right now, and we just had a just about our starter overview and this is obviously going to end up on our YouTube channel. But today we have 37 people joining us today, and let's see, we have a lot of our past students today, and many of our students that came to the last class. They go, I want to go through this again, so they're going to go through it again. And of course, we have a lot of new students today. A lot of people have names I haven't seen, and maybe you guys came through our Instagram, through reading books. A lot of people read my books, and then they end up here. So, but it's exciting time for the perfect portfolio. I mean, this was an idea for us during coronavirus when we were like, okay, we're gonna sit at home. We're sitting at home. What are we gonna do? And so out of it came the perfect portfolio. So there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad that came out of coronavirus, and there's a lot of good. And I think one of the things is the perfect portfolio because it is truly changing lives. So hey guys, let's just jump into the presentation today. Of course, we have Mr. Danilo Lambo with us today, and great, very long time friend of mine. Started the perfect portfolio, and he's a true expert in the perfect portfolio. AJ Merrifield is here, our chief operating officer, incredible friend of mine, one of our best friends. And of course, Norelvi here has been my personal assistant for 6 years. I don't remember. It's quite a long time. So she's been, holding things together for us. So anyways, let's jump into it. Let's bring up the perfect portfolio here and jump into the presentation. So anyways, this is our class introduction and overview for the perfect portfolio today. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. We have the older version on YouTube. This is going to be the updated version. It's got a lot of cool changes in it, and but it's really the same strategies. Those strategies are never going to change. And the reason we've been so busy right now, I'm actually writing a book that is like it'll be my fourth book, but it's also almost like a business manual, like an instructional manual for the perfect portfolio. So exciting things coming for the perfect portfolio. All right, so last couple of years been exciting. Got married again, so my amazing wife Stella, and we got to go to Toronto and hang out, the CN Tower. Got married in Mexico. My wife is from Mexico, and we just had we got married in Mexico in Cabo. We finally got to ride on an Icon Icon A5, which is an seaplane, but it's like a jet ski with wings. Incredibly cool airplane, and kind of on my list of things to buy in the future is definitely an Icon A5. What a fun thing. Right at the end of the year, last year, we bought a house, we got ourselves a Tesla, and I left California. I wrote a book in Top 10 Ways to Avoid Taxes. I had this chapter called, Don't Live in California. And for years, people were like, why do you have a chapter on Don't Live in California? And you've been living there. So we finally got out of California, and we do actually love it here in Tennessee. So it's a lot of fun. So all right, let's jump into it. Today I'm an Amazon best-selling author, which is like, wow, that's pretty cool. I was definitely always an entrepreneur. That was the one thing that was thing. And I'm also a professional investor. So cool. But I didn't start this way. So I grew up without any financial education and like literally nothing. There was no internet. If you live in a poor little town in Canada, there's no internet. Nobody has any money. Everybody's broke. And that's kind of how I grew up. My dad was a uranium miner in northern Canada, in Thompson, Manitoba, when I was growing up. So Thompson, Manitoba. Now, anybody from Thompson, Manitoba? Yeah, probably not. So, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my parents lived paycheck to paycheck. I just saw them always struggle my entire lives. They just never had any money. My brother was helping them out. I was helping them out. My sister was helping them out. And they basically, they died without any assets, no life insurance, no long-term care, nothing. They just worked from, when they were young, and they just worked until they couldn't work anymore, and they just got very sick, and that's how it was. So the crazy part is both my mom and dad, their parents also died with nothing, but their parents also died with nothing. So like we got at least three generations of basically poverty in my family, and yeah, so I was young, no money, and I was like, how do I make money? And I don't know, I guess I was naturally entrepreneurial, and I just started studying money. I started from scratch, and that was a very long time ago. So, but anyways, I came to the United States 24 years ago. So I did go to business school for financial advising, economics, all that stuff in college. But then I left college. I was like, you know what, this is not for me. I kind of felt it was a scam because the first class in college is how to fill out your student loans and how to fill out your credit card applications. That was just like, that's an interesting place to go. So I still don't have a high school diploma. I never got a college diploma because I dropped out of business school and I came to the United States without a green card. So no green card, came to California. My first job was a security guard for like $6 and 15 cents an hour, I think it was at the time. And and I was a private investigator. I've learned to become a private investigator, and I started making really good money. And for 6 years, I made quite a lot of money as a private investigator. And I started investing and then just learning. I started investing heavily in my financial IQ. So that's kind of where I got my start. I'm the kid in the blue there, by the way. My dad, there's my dad with the axe. There's my brother. He's still back in Canada, and I'm the kid in the blue. So I went from there to eventually spent 15 years training insurance agents. I became an investment advisor, fiduciary, financial advisor, and I was actually speaking in front of huge, you know, financial advisor conventions, training financial advisors. And I did that for about 15 years. So I had a lot of experience there. But then I started writing books. In 2008, the economy was collapsing, and I was like, wow, these banks are like brutal. They literally caused the collapse, and then the government bailed them out. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, what is wrong with this system? You know? And then they bailed them out and it caused inflation to people. And I was like, this system's broken. So I went down the rabbit hole of banking. And if you go down the rabbit hole of banking, it's like it's a deep hole. Okay. So I wrote Rich Man, Poor Bank, and that was what the banks don't want you to know about money. It was actually translated into Spanish just because there was a former UN translator that says this book needs to be in Spanish. And so that the Spanish version, Hombre Rico, Banco Pobre, is also available in Spanish on Amazon. So doesn't sell much, but it's pretty cool when it does. Okay. Um, Now, I was a financial advisor and I realized something. I realized that, you know what, my clients weren't getting financially free or retiring early. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm selling investments to people and they're not going to become financially independent. The retirement accounts are never going to make them financially independent, but I'm supposed to become financially independent by charging fees on all the people that are never going to retire so I can retire. And I was like, this is just something, it didn't feel right anymore. Okay. So, and I just wrote a book about I'd written the book about the banking industry, and I wrote another book. I was kind of 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the financial industry. And I wrote a book called Top 10 Ways to Avoid Taxes. And, that one did really well. And I realized, you know what? And if I found out that you can't continue as a financial advisor when you're writing books like Top 10 Ways to Avoid Taxes. So I had to basically make the decision to stick with it or just resign, give up my entire passive income stream as a financial advisor. So I basically resigned one day and decided to take a different path. So with the Top 10 Ways to Avoid Taxes, and we started doing real estate seminars with AJ and Relvi and Danilo. We started doing these, and then and then they all got canceled because coronavirus happened. So they all got canceled, and I said, "Well, what are we going to do now? All our seminars we canceled. We just started this new company, and all of them canceled." So I went on Instagram. I started posting my investments, and I was talking with a friend around the pool, and they said, "Hey, why don't you start a financial education company?" Talk with my friends. We said, "Hey, let's do it." Grabbed a bunch of my friends together. We had a meeting and we said, hey, what are we going to call it? Perfect Portfolio. And we just started building this company right at the start of coronavirus. And it was really a beta test to see what's going on. And today we're growing pretty fast as a company. So I also wrote Top 25 Ways an IUL can secure your financial future and build a tax-free family bank. And that was a big part is building family banks, just because of the topic we're gonna be talking about today. So all right, let's go to All right, so here's Remy, or Remy the robot, and Remy the robot was, I think he's pretty cool again, by the way, Remy the robot. And hey, Remy, we're going to teach you how the rich pay no taxes, okay? And we'll teach you the basics of how the wealthy people can not pay taxes at all, and we'll give you at least the basics today, okay? It would take the entire whole course to put all the pieces together, but I guarantee you that you guys can learn to not pay taxes, okay? It's pretty simple. The tax codes are the same. If you just learn the tax codes, learn to put them together, anybody of any income cannot pay taxes. Okay, fact. Okay, I'm writing the entire book on this topic. It's a big topic, but this was the course that really gave me the content and all the research to do it to actually put it in a book format. So the book is about paying no taxes. It's written for ordinary Americans. Okay, so anybody can do it. So this is really the the precursor to the book. So we're going to teach you a strategy called buy, borrow, die. Okay. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the buy, borrow, die strategy, but it's very, very simple. If you bought an asset, we'll call it asset A, and you never sold it, you never pay taxes. If you take a loan from asset A and buy asset B, you just circumvented the US tax system because you took the loan and that was not taxable. You didn't have to pay taxes on the money. And now you own two assets. Eventually borrow from asset A and asset B to buy asset C. And you keep doing that over and over and over again. You keep circumventing the US tax system because you never have to work for the money and you never sell the assets. So you never pay taxes. And finally, when you die, all your assets get a step up in basis or stepped up basis, and you can pass all the assets to your heirs. And guess what you teach your family to do? Buy, borrow, die. Very simple. It does it. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that concept. It's incredibly simple. But how to implement it, that's where it took us 3 years of figuring out exactly how to do the strategy. So we'll cover that. And more importantly, we're going to teach you how to generate a lot of income so you can retire early. Okay. A lot of income so you can retire early. Okay. Now, the phrase buy, borrow, die, I didn't create that phrase. Okay. It would be cool if I did, but I didn't. It was actually this guy, and Professor Ed McCaffrey is at the University of Southern California, Gould School of Law. And he basically came up with this concept, and he started teaching it in the 1990s. Buy assets, borrow from them, die. Boom. Completely circumvent the US tax system. Okay. And it's pretty simple. The crazy thing was that you think of that, if that was such an effective strategy, you would think it would be taught to financial advisors, right? Like, wouldn't I, as a financial advisor that was training the financial advisors, come across the most powerful financial strategy for tax avoidance and wealth accumulation ever created? And it's so simple, and it's never made it into any university, college that I've ever seen. It doesn't exist. I don't know what happened to it in the 1990s, but somehow people don't learn how to do it. Okay, so why I'm going to ask you guys, why don't they teach buy, borrow, die to financial advisors? Why haven't you learned it? Why isn't there books being written on it? I don't know. You can answer that for yourselves. Okay. I've got actually, I don't have theories. I have proof. Okay, why it's not. But anyways, okay. So anyways, the perfect portfolio. See, we're not financial advisors, right? We're not financial advisors. We don't give financial advice. There was a legal disclaimer there. We don't give any financial advice. But what we wanted to do in the perfect portfolio was three things. The goal was to raise your financial IQ. Can anybody here raise their financial IQ? Can anybody here do it? Yes, great. We can all win then. Doesn't matter if somebody comes in and says, I don't know anything. Somebody says, I know a lot of stuff, right? Everybody can raise their financial IQ. Okay. But what is financial IQ? What is financial IQ? Okay. And I in the book Rich Man, Poor Bank, I talked about there's financial education and then there's banking education. Financial education, banking education. And in fact, they're not only totally different, many times they're opposite. Okay. Well, in the book, it talks about the concept of when financial education goes up, bank profit goes down. When financial education goes down, bank profit goes up. Okay. And that was the inverse relationship between financial education and bank profit. So But I had to upgrade my financial IQ dramatically after 15 years in the financial industry. So we want to teach you to fish. See, we don't want you to be relying on us. We don't want you to be relying on a financial advisor, a CPA, or whatever. So we said, look, let's give a person a course where they're smarter than their financial advisor, where they're smarter than their CPA, and they're smarter than the people in the universities that teach financial advisors. Okay. So I can pretty much tell you that what you're going to learn, you will not learn it anywhere else. You won't learn it in a fancy university. You can go to financial advisor training classes, line them up, and you will never learn these strategies. So it only took me 25 years to figure this out. So 25 years of literally studying money for 25 years. Okay. And we said, we want to automate your income. There's a saying that says, if you don't learn to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Okay. You'll work until you die. Okay. How many people are kind of like, whoa, what if people are going to have to work until they die? Right. I hate to say it, but a lot of people are going to have to do that. And I hate to say it, lots of people, I don't want to give you bad advice or bad, but you probably know a lot of people that if they don't figure this thing out, just inflation and these things, they might have to keep working until that they die. So, okay, so very important to build automated income streams that you can collect now. Okay. We also wanted to create 1 million new millionaires. Okay. So we obviously can't do it this way with me talking to people live. So we're going to basically taking this course, putting it in a video format, and basically so thousands of people could be watching the course and learning all at the same time, because we actually want to create 1 million new millionaires. I don't know if it'll take us 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I don't know, but that's our goal as a company. Okay. Okay, so man, okay, good. There's a guy named Sod Guru. Okay, I don't know if I've ever heard Sod Guru, but I saw this one day and I said, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is the solution to all of life's problems, right? It's you want to solve a problem. And Sod said, thinking is just a recycling of the data you've gathered in the past. And I was like, this is so interesting, because I've been in the financial industry for, 15 years, learning from everybody in the financial industry, but I was always learning the same thing over and over and over again. And I found out there's only one source for that financial education that I was being taught as a financial advisor. And when I stepped out of that bubble and actually stepped out of the bubble, it was the greatest thing that I ever did, because I was able to get different information and gather pieces. And I've really been gathering pieces since 2018, when I stopped working in the financial industry. When I resigned as a financial advisor, that's the time when I started learning how to build wealth. The first 15 years were actually really not to do. And unfortunately, what not to do is probably what they're teaching you to do. Okay. And that's what I learned. And I'll give you some huge examples of that today. And you guys can decide if my research is accurate. Okay. So, all right. So what is money? Okay. So we're going to talk about money today. What is money? Can anyone actually define money? If I said, what is money? What would your first response be? Okay. And I want everybody to think about this, like really think about this. What is money? Is this a money? Is this money right here? Is this piece of paper I took out of my wallet? Is that money? I don't know. Yes or no. You answer for yourself. And what's very important is I'm going to ask you guys a bunch of questions today, and you just answer in your mind. If you actually participate, at least mentally, in this exercise, you're going to get a lot out of benefit. If you don't participate, you're not going to get the benefit. So just answer in your mind, well, what is money? What's your first answer? I don't know what that is, but I'm going to tell you guys what money is and what money isn't. Okay. So rather than look for money, look for the characteristics of money. Okay. The characteristic money is anything we agree has value. So anything we agree has value has a characteristic of money. Okay. So anything. Okay. Okay. Next, it must be easily transferable. So we must agree it has value, and it must be easily transferable. That's the characteristic of money. The next one, it has limited supply. It must have limited supply. If it doesn't have limited supply, it doesn't really have the characteristics of money. Okay, so let me prove it to you guys. Okay, first of all, I'll ask you some questions before we do this. Okay, so how is money created? I'm going to ask you guys a few questions and just answer in your mind. How is money created? Boom. What popped into your mind? Okay, well, I'll give you the most common answer. How is money created? Most common answer, they print it. Okay, we've all seen that picture of the Federal Reserve just rolling up the paper and just printing out the money, right? Okay, um, they're going for the U.S. is going $5.2 billion in debt every single day. Every single day, $5.2 billion in day. They're just printing it, right? Okay, so most people say, how is money created? They print it. The Fed, okay? Who can create money? I say, who can create money? You would say, what would you say? Okay, most common answer, the Federal Reserve. They can, that's the only person who can create money is the Federal Reserve. If I take this thing, I can't go copy it somewhere at a thing and then start creating my own money, right? That's called counterfeiting. Okay, so he was like, you can't do that. That's illegal to create money. Okay, can I create money? Right? It said, can't, I don't know how many could create this, right? It's hard to create and it's called counterfeiting. So he'll say, no, you can't create money. Again, counterfeiting, that's illegal. Okay. All right. Next question. You guys ready? Do I have to work to make money? Do I have to work? Do you guys have to work to make money? Yes or no? What's your answer? Most people say, yes, you must work to make money. Okay. All of those are completely false. And I'll prove it to you. Okay. Now, let's say how many people have ever gone to Costco before or Sam's Club or wherever you go and you buy a big screen TV? Has anyone ever done that before? You buy a big screen, right? You take your credit card, boom, swipe it, buy a big screen TV. Let's say it costs like $2,000 for a 85-inch big screen TV, right? What happened? When you swipe the card, what happened? Okay. First of all, $2,000 of new money was created in a computer. Okay, $2,000, they just created it into a computer as a bank entry. So they created 2,000, you actually created $2,000 just by swiping a credit card. That's actually money. And it's just as debt. Most of the money in the world is not paper, it's actually debt. Swipe a credit card, buy a home, it's all just new money created as debt. Okay, so most of the money is just virtual bank entries. They press a button, they create it, they delete it, they create the money. So money is obviously not just the paper we hold here. But when you buy the big screen TV, you buy it, who makes money though? Okay, so the money was created on a computer, but who gets a cut? Okay, so think about that. So who gets a cut of the money? Okay, first of all, buy the TV, Costco makes some money, right? That's cool. Costco makes some money. They provide jobs. That's cool. So Costco gets a cut. Okay, great. LG, if you buy an LG TV, LG makes some money. That's great. They make some money. Fantastic. They have competition. They make great products. They bring the cost of TVs down. TVs actually don't have inflation. They actually go down in value just by competition. So we have great TVs, great company. Okay, what else happens? You swipe the card. Who makes the money? The bank. They make the money, so they get a slight fee. So the bank makes money. Okay. Now let's say you don't pay off your credit card in the next 30 days. Okay. Bam, that credit card debt, boom, 24% interest. Okay. But they're not printing money. They're just creating bank entries in a computer. So Costco, LG, bank makes money on the swipe fee, bank makes money. But who else makes money when you swipe that credit card? Big government, state, federal taxes, real estate taxes. There's probably about 100 taxes that get added to your bill of that money moving around throughout the economy that all adds up, adding to the cost of that TV. There's hundreds of taxations that are collected every time you swipe that credit card to buy that TV or whatever, that car or whatever it is. It's actually hundreds of taxes that are actually added to that bill added to you. So when you create money, you swipe a credit card, a lot of people make money. So what this should tell you is you guys have been taught to make money, create it to make other people's money, to make other people money. A lot of people make a lot of money, a lot of banks and corporations, and the bank and big government makes massive amounts of money when you consume. So you just consume TVs, blow your money on stuff that's not worth anything. Government collects a lot of taxes, so they love it when you consume. They look at the consumer index and want to make sure you guys are consuming and spending all the money. Now, why have you guys not been learned? Why have not been taught to create money to make your family wealthy? Why have you been not taught to create money to make your family wealthy? Okay. And that's what we're here to talk about with Buy, Borrow, Die. So let's do some analysis on what money is. And first of all, just remember what your answers were, because I'm going to ask you those questions afterwards, and you can tell me if your answers changed. Okay. So how about a cow? We have those three characteristics. We agree it has value, it's easily transferable, and it has limited supply. Is a cow money? Yes or no? Okay. Cow money? It's got the characteristics, doesn't it? We agree it has value, it is easily transferable, and it has limited supply. So technically, a cow has the characteristics of money. Okay. You can take your money and buy a cow. All right. If the cow's like grass-fed, it's more expensive for that cow, but your money is there to, but in the past, they used to take a piece of paper that would represent one cow. The paper only had value because it represented ownership of the cow. That was the first money. Okay. So your money used to be backed by some sort of asset. Okay. But as a cow money, at least that is the characteristics of money. You can sell the cow, you can and so on. So it had the characteristics of money. How about a US dollar, United States dollar? Okay. Is it money? Canadian dollar, right? Loonies. Uh, how about a silver dollar? Is it money? Yes or no? Money? Yes or no? Just answer in your own mind. Okay. What says it? $1, right? That's $1. Here, I got one, man. $1 right here. It's $1. Is that worth $1? Okay. It's worth a lot more than that. I think silver is worth about 29 bucks today. So that piece of that money there that says $1 is worth $30. Okay. This one I'm holding in my hand, it's worth $60. It's 1 ounce of silver, but here's the key about this one. This one says 1888 on it. This one is worth $60. What's the difference between those coins there? This one has even greater limited supply. Okay. So you can have the same coin, one's worth 30, one's worth 60. Okay. But it says $1 on it. So limited supply. I want to get that limited supply, limited supply. Okay. Bitcoin. People say Bitcoin, it's virtual, it's in a computer, it doesn't really exist. It's just created in a computer. I'm like, no, all the US money is created in a computer. It's virtual. They literally press buttons and create it and delete it in the trillions. Most of the money in the world is just virtual entries, bank entries in the world. So people are like, Bitcoin, it's not real. Actually, it's harder to create Bitcoin than it is to create what we call as money, bank entries. Bank entries are press a button. It takes a lot of work and money to create Bitcoin. Okay. So Bitcoin has a limited supply. 21 million will only exist. And there's actually universities, there's a lot of countries that are using Bitcoin as currency because their dollar has been deflated. They had hyperinflation and their money was worth nothing. And then they had to go to a different thing. So there's countries starting to use Bitcoin as money because their money is not worth anything anymore. Okay. And I don't know if you noticed, but your money has lost a lot of value. Okay. Why your groceries and gasoline? Because your money is losing value very, very quickly. Okay. And the thing is, this didn't just start. I wrote about this stuff in 2009. I wrote a book, Rich Man, Poor Bank, talks about inflation and how it is coming and rise of big government and corporations. And I was talking about this stuff in 2014. This is not new. It's just you're seeing it in a huge amount because of all the money that was printed during COVID. Okay. So Bitcoin, is it money? Well, it is. We agree it has value. Its value is about $55,000 today. And that's the world. Okay. The entire world agrees that Bitcoin is worth about $55,000 today. Okay. Give or take. Okay. It's very easily transferable. We can transfer Bitcoin in any amount at any part of the world. There's no bank that can stop us from doing that. We're able to move our money around the world without sort of centralized agency telling us what to do. Okay, so it's very easily transferable, even much faster than money. Paper money is very hard to transfer. Okay, Bitcoin can be transferred any in the world. Limited supply. And then how about real estate? Does real estate have the characteristics of money? Okay, we agree it has value. It's easily transferable. Okay, it's a little hard to transfer now, but in the future, it's not going to be hard to transfer. In the future, what you'll be able to do is, let's say I wanted to buy a house from somebody, I could call them and say, hey, AJ, can I buy your house? AJ says, yeah, I'll buy my house. That sounds good. I said, cool. Here, I'll send you the Bitcoin. I'll buy your house with Bitcoin. And I could send them the Bitcoin, and there'd be what's called a smart contract there. Okay. And the smart contract, only until that only money is only released when the deed is transferred over, all the paperwork's done. In the future, I think you'll be able to buy and sell a house in 10 minutes just using your cell phone. Okay. And so there's a blockchain, a permanent ledger. It's more secure than anything ever created for storing and logging information. So the future is definitely not this paper. This paper is coming to an end. And of course, now they want to replace it with central bank digital currencies. Whatever you do, trying to make sure that never happens. Okay. Last thing you want to do is the government can able to print this in any amounts, but digitally, just print it and print it and print it. And then if you disagree with them, they can just turn you off. So be very, very weary about central bank digital currencies. Okay. So, all right. So, house, is it very agree it has value, easily transferable, limited supply. Okay. So, definitely real estate. In fact, the more limited supply, the more value it becomes. Okay, the more value. If that house is in Ohio, somewhere nice, or if it's overlooking a lake in Tennessee, that house is a lot more valuable in Tennessee just because it's looking over a lake or something like that. So, anyways, limited supply is very key on what you're trying to accumulate. $20 bill, is it money? Is it money? Nope, it's called fiat currency, not backed by anything. Okay. It's actually not backed by anything. It's not even really, fiat means not backed by anything. Literally, they can just create it at any amount. It has unlimited supply. So technically what you see is not real money. It actually was fake money. It's not since 1971 have we actually had real money. Okay. And since then, you look at the inflation that's happened since they took us off the gold standard when gold was actually backing the paper. That's the problem. See, we have broken money. Our money is broken. And until that's fixed, you're going to see poverty rates rising. The middle class is going to get harder and harder to stay ahead because they don't know how to fight inflation. Okay. What we teach is the ultimate inflation fighter. Inflation is creating money, right? So why don't you create money? If inflation is creating money, why don't you start creating money too? Okay, that's where buy, borrow, die comes in. Okay. Picoin, this used to be pretty cool. I don't know if it'll be worth anything, but there's some guys at Stanford, PhDs, that created a cryptocurrency and you can mine it on your phone. I've got about 10,000 of these on my phone right now. If they put it onto exchange and it's worth a lot of money, I could make a lot of money, and it was actually created in my phone. Remember, Bitcoin is created in a computer. It costs a lot of money to make it, but so is all your paper money. Our paper money is printed, and then the rest of the money is just created by pressing buttons. So, at least Bitcoin has limited supply. Okay. So, all right. So, we're going to show you a video on buy, borrow, die.
Some of the very richest Americans pay little in taxes compared with how fast their fortunes grow each year. How? They use a tax strategy known as buy, borrow, die. It's like the ultra wealthy are living on another planet. Average people need income to pay for basics like housing and food. But the ultra wealthy don't. They can just live on borrowed cash. Step one, buy. The ultra wealthy buy an asset or build a company or inherit a fortune. As long as they don't sell, they owe no taxes. They keep their income as low as possible since every dollar they earn can be taxed. Step two, borrow. They borrow against their holdings and the bank gives them a really good deal.
I'll loan you $10 million with only 3% interest. But if you take a $10 million salary from your company, you'll owe almost 37% to the IRS.
So the ultra wealthy use loan money to fund their lifestyles. That's how a billionaire can live the most luxurious life imaginable while reporting little to no taxable income. Step three, die. When they die, these lucky few often use complicated trusts and philanthropic foundations to avoid the estate tax, and their heirs can inherit stocks and other assets tax-free. A new generation is ultra wealthy and the cycle starts all over again.
All right, pretty cool, right? How billionaires, like Elon Musk or these guys, they build companies and they work literally super hard, but they get this stock and they have the stock in the company. Pretty cool. They just never sell the stock, right? It's a pretty cool strategy. And then they just take a loan secured by the stock. So they never sell the stock, they never lose control of their company, and they can just live off loans. The loans are tax-free, meaning they never work and they never pay taxes. There's all the billionaires do it. Not, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk. All the billionaires do this stuff. It's called buy, borrow, die. So you're thinking, well, that's nice that they can do it, but can I do it too? And the answer is yes, you can. Okay. So you can do it too. And if you were to ask, how much do you think you would need to invest before you can do this strategy? Okay. And I'll give you a little background. As a financial advisor, if you had $1 million in your account, I could get you a securities-backed line of credit. So you have about $1 million in your investment accounts. We could go to a bank and they would give you a loan secured by the $1 million of stock. Okay. You could get it at 500,000, maybe. Okay. But it was high interest. You had to apply it, put an application in. You had to, get a credit check. They would add it to your credit score. It was very complicated to get a loan, even taking a loan secured by your stock account. Okay. Now, if you were to guess, how much would you need to do? How much would you have to invest before we could do the same thing? Where you invest and you basically can take a loan with no application, no credit check. It doesn't go on your credit score and there's no required payments. How much money do you think you would have to invest right now? Just think, give yourself a number. What's the minimum you would need to invest? Is it 500,000, 200,000, 100,000, 50,000? I don't know what you guys guessed, but it's $2,000. $2,000 and you could start your own buy, borrow, die strategy. Anybody can do it. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. When we were doing this course, okay, there's an article that came out. We came across buy, borrow, die, and at the time we were investing, and then we were actually borrowing at 2% interest, and we were buying what's called a covered call that paid 12%. So you invest, and then you borrow at 2%, and then buy another investment that pays a 12% dividend. Okay, how often would you like to keep doing that? Now, the thing is, when you borrowed, you didn't pay taxes on it. So you bought an investment off money that you never pay taxes on. So it kept circumventing the US tax system. So at the time, we were getting loans at 2% interest when our students were investing just $2,000. Okay. So there's an article called How Ordinary Americans Can Also Buy, Borrow, and Die Without Paying Taxes. That was September 13th, 2021. Okay. All right. So we said, well, what's going to be in the perfect portfolio? Now, your perfect portfolio might be different than my perfect portfolio, different from Mark's perfect portfolio, different from Matt's, different from Riso's, different from Mike's, different from Nick's. Everybody's perfect portfolio is probably going to be different. Remember, we're not going to here to tell you what to do. We just show you the parts, and then you create your perfect portfolio. Okay. Some people like real estate more. Some people like stocks. Some people like ETFs. Some people like gold. Some people like crypto. Some people like insurance for conservative assets. There's all these different assets you can use, and you can buy and borrow from each of them. So you can continually keep buying and borrowing and accumulating assets. If you never sell them, they're never taxes, and the loans are actually money that was created without paying taxes. Buy, borrow, and buy and borrow, okay, to accumulate assets. This is the exact strategy that the billionaires are using, and you can do it too. So my wife and I, Stella, we had a very specific goal. We wanted passive income streams. We said, we don't care about retirement accounts. We want passive income streams now. All of our students, our friends said, yes, that's exactly what we don't want to work until we're 60, 65, or 70. We want to retire. We want to get financially independent the next 2-3 years. How do we do that? Okay, so we said we want to build passive income and want to pay less taxes and do what we enjoy. So I want to make money and pay very little in taxes. Tell you, when you start buying and borrowing and then you're not paying taxes, your wealth goes up very quickly, especially when compared to a traditional retirement account. Okay, so we wanted active and passive. We would make money in sideways markets. We'd make, even if the market wasn't going up, we were making money. Dividend investing. Okay, and we have some pretty cool stuff. We'll talk to you about that today. I'm going to make passive income streams we can collect at any age. We don't want to wait 30 years when our money's not worth anything because of inflation. We want to collect those income streams now and reinvest them. Apply the buy, borrow, die strategy. We wanted to build family banks. Okay. See, my book about insurance was called And Build a Tax-Free Family Bank. I was touching on that book about buying and borrowing. I just didn't know the strategy had a name. Okay. So at the time, so we wanted to build we wanted to build a family bank. So we got a bunch of different ways where you can invest and borrow. Okay. You can invest and borrow in one position, then invest and borrow from that one, and invest and borrow from that one. And as long as you're investing in assets, these are things that will appreciate in value and pay income. It's a pretty exciting strategy. Okay, so I'm going to build multiple family banks. We'll show you how to build family bank 1, family bank 2, tax-free family bank. You can build another bank, and you keep doing this basically building a bank. Okay, and we'll give you an example, and we'll show you exactly where you can actually do that tonight. Okay. Now, an IUL is again, we have a class on IULs, but you can also read it. I wrote an entire book on this topic if you want to dig into that rabbit hole, an IUL. But it's a way to invest with no risk and no taxes. Okay. So imagine you invest in a brokerage account and then you wanted to fund an IUL, you would take a loan from that. That money is not taxed, and you would fund the IUL. As you grow the IUL, you could even borrow from the IUL to purchase real estate. Okay. And none of those transactions are taxable. And then you buy real estate, you just use OPM times OPM. Okay, you multiplied the money. Remember, the money is just debt. Multiplying the debt, even though you have debt, you didn't pay taxes. So people say that I want to get out of debt. I want to get out of debt. To me, that sounds like you want to pay more taxes because it's true. Okay, so anyways, OPM times OPM, tax reduction, tax-free income streams, and you basically repeat the process. You build a system that constantly duplicates over and over and over again. Okay. And then if you want to get really advanced, you can get into some other things like depreciation on car washes, ATMs, oil and gas is very, very powerful for tax avoidance, like wiping out tax liabilities. You can use this thing called depreciation to do that. Okay. So we have strategies for people who come in, they know nothing, they're just starting out. Somebody who's more experienced, we can jump them up a little bit if they're just trying to raise their financial IQ. And we have strategies where we're helping people who have $5 million in a retirement account and they realize they have a $5 million tax problem. If they keep going, they can end up spending $20 to $30 million in taxes for the rest of their life. Make sense? So they have a huge tax problem, and we have those advanced strategies where we can even help those people reduce and avoid taxes, high net worth. So we work with high net worth, we work with the people who are just starting out and wanted to build a course that can pretty much help anybody, and that's what we've built today. Okay, so passive income streams now that beat inflation and avoid taxes. Okay, that's the goal. And then we found out we could do buy, borrow. The 5 assets that we use are stocks and ETFs, life insurance for asset protection and income protection. We use cryptocurrency we use gold and precious metals, and we use real estate. 5 assets: buy, borrow, buy, borrow, buy, borrow, buy, borrow, buy, borrow. When you die, they all pass to heirs, 100% tax-free. So 5 assets. We took us years and years to figure out how to do it, where to do it, the risks, the rewards, all those things. So by the way, we didn't look at another company and go, oh, these guys are doing this. We created this from scratch. 100%. We didn't look at another company and go, these guys are doing this, let's duplicate it. This actually came from us, and I'll be the first person to write the book that really goes into the strategy. So you guys will be here, oh man, I saw that when I was, before it was around. You guys are kind of getting a first view of the final result before it becomes a much more popular strategy. Okay. All right. So how many ways are you guys using OPM to invest? OPM. How many people have heard the word other people's money? OPM. Okay. Well, if you ever bought a home, you used other people's money. You actually used buy, borrow when you bought a home. If you put $10,000, no, let's call it $12,000 down on a $400,000 house you bought, $12,000 was taxed, $388,000 wasn't taxed. You did buy, borrow in the same transaction, or just by buying a home. The $38,000 mortgage, you didn't have to work for that money. You avoided taxes on $388,000. You did buy, borrow. If you basically grow the value of the home and you die, your family did buy, borrow, and die. Okay. The one thing, if your family has wealthy, they're probably doing this. They just don't realize what they're doing. Because I didn't. It took me all this, just all this time, just realizing how you're circumventing the tax system. Okay. So here's my portfolio as of today. I took a screenshot today. This is Mark's perfect portfolio, extra spicy. I do not suggest you duplicate this portfolio. I have a very aggressive portfolio. I don't care about in fluctuations. Why? Because I'm just going to keep buying for the rest of my life. I'm never going to sell. Downturns just mean I buy more for less. Okay? People go, I want to buy an asset and then sell at a higher value. No, just keep buying. Never stop buying. That's it. That's the solution. If you need cash, just press the borrow button and create new money. Okay? Live off the borrow button. Okay? Live off. That's going to take a little bit. That's probably an advanced class. I probably shouldn't have told you guys to live on the borrow button. But that's what the rich people do. They don't spend their assets. Okay? So let's look at my portfolio. Here's what it is. Top one is a closed-end fund. It's leveraged debt. It kind of goes up when the economy does bad. See, it's up 29% this year. Not bad. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a hedge in there. SPYI is a covered call. It's a 12% dividend position, 12% per year on the S&P 500. NVDY is a synthetic covered call on NVIDIA. You have, that's up 60% this year. We have SVOL, which is a volatility index. So it's actually what's called the VIX, and they sell options and generate 18% per year. I think it's 16% per year, just dividending. It's like a money machine. Okay. You have JETQ, which is a covered call on the NASDAQ. You have YMAX, which is a 21 synthetic covered calls inside a fund. You have SPXL, which is a stock market times 3. Okay. Very fast up and very fast down, but I don't care because I'll just buy more of it when it's going down. AMZ is a synthetic covered call on Amazon, and Coney is a synthetic covered call on Coinbase. Okay. Now, to create this portfolio, absolutely impossible to do. On your own, you'd have to create all these synthetic covered calls, all these complex options trades. But here's the thing, you don't have to do anything. Just buy them. You could put $50 in each one of those things. In fact, you could put $50 in a portfolio and it would fractionalize all the shares, and you could have $50 and it'd be broken up into all those complex options, right? Each exchange traded funds are amazing. If you know how to put them into a pie, they work incredibly well. Okay. So what's the results of that? Again, I don't suggest you do that. Buy those positions. Okay. But if you want to put $100, that's up to you. You can look at that. That's up to you. We don't give financial advice. If you want to put $100 into something like that, totally up to you. Okay, we'll show you where to do that. Now, but I have 75,000 there, but how much is my money? Well, there's my debt. I took on debt. I took on debt. I pressed buttons and borrowed money, and I borrowed $33,428. Now, question, did I have to pay taxes on $33,428? Did I have to pay taxes? No, I didn't. What did I do? I pressed buttons. I just pressed the button. Just create it. Press buttons, create money. Remember, you're already doing it. You swipe a credit card, you create money, but you're just doing it to make other people wealthy. So learn to press buttons and make money. I made money right there. I created it, and then it purchased me ETFs that provide me income. So I create income streams with no work. I create the money with no work. I actually fight inflation by using inflation because I created the money. Okay. And you can keep doing this the rest of your life, and you can teach it to your kids. You can teach it to your brother, your sister, your family. Get everybody on the same page, and your family gets a lot of momentum. Okay. So there was no credit check, no application. There didn't go on my credit score, and there's no required payments. Okay. There's my dividends for last month. July, I received $2,365.74. I get a dividend income. It's about $2,300. Okay. But I'm getting $2,300 of dividends per month off of $42,000. So my $42,000 is generating $2,365.74 per month of dividend income. Is that a pretty good return? Okay. My portfolio also appreciates in value. The appreciation, I never pay taxes. When it appreciates, you know what I do? I press buttons and create more money, which I then invest. Okay. This grows. It's crazy how fast the momentum is. And our students, you're seeing a lot of the students on here today, they've been doing this for like 6 months, a year. Okay. They keep coming back because they just want to learn more, and we keep improving the course and changing it. And of course, some of you guys may have been here because you were invited here by one of our students that actually do this. Okay. So I don't care. Market crashes, love it. Just keep buying. Okay. Buy, and buy. And then when the market goes up, then I borrow and borrow and borrow and create more money. So I'm winning every direction. It's sideways markets, I'm getting my dividends. It crashes, I keep buying more. It starts going up. I press buttons and create more money, or borrow to purchase real estate and accumulate more assets. I don't care, up, sideways, down, we're always winning. Okay. July, so there's the numbers, right? It's $2,365.74. My interest for the month was $176.27. So how many times do you want to borrow and pay $176.27 in interest that month? But that month you also received $2,365.74. How often do you want to do that? Plus, remember, the first step you have to remember, I didn't pay taxes on $33,428. That money was created by pressing a button, and I didn't have to work or pay taxes on it. And anybody can do it. Okay. So when I was a financial advisor, they sat me down 20 something years ago, and they said, Mark, this is what you do. You do a 6-step financial needs analysis. Okay. This is what they said. And they said cash flow, debt management, emergency fund, proper protection, build wealth, and preserve wealth. And they said, here's what you do. And they said, earn additional income, manage your expenses, consolidate debt, eliminate debt, get an emergency fund, 6 to 12 months emergency funds. You're probably going to stick it in your bank, get some insurance, contribute to retirement accounts so you can retire, and then do your will and trust. And I was like, cool, I'm going to do that. And I started doing that every single day, sitting across the kitchen table, helping hundreds of families over the years with that stuff. Today, I wouldn't do any of that. Almost none of it. Okay. We want to automate your income. Forget retirement accounts, build income now, because your retirement accounts aren't going to be worth anything after inflation. Make sense? You're not going to win. I guarantee it. You will not win ever with a retirement account. By the time you get to the money, it's not going to be worth anything. Okay. Not to mention it's deferring income taxes, and it triggers taxes on your Social Security payments. It's triple taxed. It's a tax on the front, and they say you're taping them. No, it's a tax contributing to Social Security. And then when you retire, It's fully taxed at regular income tax. And then with that tax actually triggers the taxes on your Social Security payments. That's triple taxation. Okay. That's your retirement account. Okay. It should be illegal to call something a retirement account when you never get to retire on it, my opinion. Okay. Debt management. Well, guess what? If you had a big investment account, you would really never have debt. You'd only have good debt, not bad debt. If you have 24% interest credit card, just to take your investment account, press the button, create the money, get rid of the bad debt, start funneling it into investments, and then you always get to borrow at very low interest rates, regardless of your credit score. You don't even need a job to borrow money. Okay. Use a margin loan. Okay. Eliminate debt above 6%, build 3 family banks. Next, earn 5% return on your emergency fund and FDIC insured up to $3.75 million. Okay, your bank insures your money up to $250,000. They're probably paying you 0.01 or something like that at your bank. Get you 5% return any amount right starting tomorrow, and they'll insure it up to $3.75 million at the FDIC. Okay, that's better than what we were doing before. Okay. Buy life insurance and long-term care with other people's money. Okay. Fund a brokerage account. You want to buy your life insurance, term, whatever, just press the borrow button. Buy your life insurance. That money, you didn't have to pay taxes on it. So you immediately save money because you didn't have to buy your life insurance with after-tax money. Okay. Pretty simple to do. Increase the returns and reduce the risk on all your investment accounts. Okay. So you can't beat the S&P 500. It's really hard. So I built a portfolio called Beat the S&P 500. It's completely automated. You literally fund it. It will absolutely destroy the performance of the S&P 500, especially over a 10 or 20-year period. So like a Roth IRA or something like that would be cool. You could just fully fund it and automate it, and it would absolutely destroy the performance of the S&P 500. That's why I called it Beat the S&P 500. Okay. So, and then become financially free and retire early. Okay. No, 6 retirement accounts. Come on. Okay. Why is a college fund called a college fund? Like, because that's the only way you go to college is by putting money into a college fund. Why isn't a piece of real estate a retirement account? Why isn't a piece of real estate a college fund? Okay. It's a much better investment. That's for sure. When you use other people's money and debt to buy real estate, can't use debt to buy a college fund. You have to go pay it. You know what I mean? So anyways, just, it's so amazing what they label something and people go, oh, man, I can only go to college by putting money into college fund. I can only retire by putting money into a retirement account. Totally not true, by the way. Okay. So anyways, you can check more stuff on the perfectportfolio.com to become financially free and retire early. Okay. All right. Now I had to identify like where the person comes into the course, where are they financially? Like what was their past financial education? Because if we're raising your financial IQ, we sort of said, where are you right now? And then what's your goal in the future? Okay. So everyone came in at different levels of financial IQ. So we said, look, there's 7 levels of financial IQ. The first place we all start is, I don't understand anything, right? You guys all started that. We all said somewhat, we don't understand anything. Great. Congratulations. This can be a huge advantage. You've not been brainwashed by publicly traded financial companies. Congratulations. If you come and go, I know nothing. Let's do it. Awesome. I'll prove it to you. Take an 18 or 19-year-old, put them in the course. All they know is investing and pressing buttons. That's all they know. They've never been taught anything else. Okay. Take a 40, 50-year-old. They're like, no, I have to get out of debt. No, I can't do that. I have to get a retirement. I have to do this. I have to. A person who doesn't understand anything, easy to train. Okay. 18, 19-year-old, boom. They just move at the speed of instruction. They're buying, they're borrowing, they're investing, they're getting financially independent. The longer you've been educated, the harder it is to teach you. Just being honest with you. We've seen that over with hundreds of students. So, but person goes, oh, I don't know anything. I'm going to go get some financial education. What do they teach you? Save money and get good credit. Okay. This is all in Rich Man, Poor Bank, by the way. It's not something new. It's not something I created. It's in there. Save money, get good credit. Is that there to make you wealthy, or is that there to make other people wealthy? Save money. Who gets wealthy? Your mega bank. Get good credit. Who gets wealthy? Your mega bank. Sorry, is that financial education? I don't know. You got to tell me, is that financial education or is that banking education? So a person goes, I'm saving money. And they go, man, my savings account sucks. Doesn't pay me anything. They go, hey, go to the financial advisor. Okay. A financial advisor says, save money, get good credit, max out your 401k to save on taxes and get a Roth IRA and index funds. Level 3. You've been educated by bankers and financial advisors that work for publicly traded financial companies that have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. Realize any company that's publicly traded, actually by law, they have to make the most money for their shareholders and not you. Any financial advisor that works for a publicly traded company, or the company is owned by a publicly traded financial company, cannot have a fiduciary responsibility to make you money because they have to prioritize making money for the shareholders over you. Fact. Definition in the dictionary of fiduciary. Okay, so be careful where you get your financial advice from. Now, hopefully, I don't know if you guys got to say, I came in at level 1 or level 2 or level 3. Once you're in level 3, it's hard to get out. Okay, because I'm stuck. Everyone's doing it. Okay, but I want to do something different. Well, if you don't know what OPM is, then you are the OP in other people's money. Okay, think about that. 2 choices. You become the OP that makes other people wealthy, or you learn to use other people's money. Your choice. Just decide right now. Okay. Level 4, I need to use OPM in my investing. OPM is tax-free. Okay. Don't have to work for it and don't have to fight inflation. So you actually learn how to use other people's money. Okay. You already did it when you bought a home. So don't tell me you can't know how to do it. Just buy a home and use OPM. All that money's not taxed. Okay. So you're already doing it. You just learn how to do it professionally. Okay. How to professionally use OPM in your investing. And that's the secret to building wealth. Okay. All right. So have your answers changed? Okay. Asked you guys some questions. Now, I want everybody to hear to just participate in your mind. And maybe you're watching this on the YouTube. Have your answers changed? How is money created? How is money created? Have your answers changed? 2, who can create money? Have your answers changed? Who can create money? Can I create money? Have your answers changed? Can I create money? Yes or no? Can you create money? Do I have to work to make money? Do I have to work to make money? Have your answers changed? Okay. If they did, that's good, because thinking is just a recycling of the data you gathered in the past. You must change your thinking if you want to change your future. Yes or no? Cool. All right, good. Hopefully your answers have changed and your thinking has changed. All right, so pretty much there's a lot of information in this course. There's only so much we can put into your head at once. Your brain has to delete the information and replace it with good one, and then it's got to process. So that's why we have an 8-week course. Okay. So if you thought, hey, there's something to this today, there's a Google form. If you put your email in the chat or whatever, send private message Norelvi or whatever, you can keep in touch with us. We can send you some free chapters from the book. We want you to start learning as fast as possible. We'll send you some chapters of my books into your email. You can start reading and start raising your financial IQ, learning more about these topics. All the books, Rich Man, Poor Bank, Top 10 Ways to Avoid Taxes, Top 25, it's the foundation of it. If you get the foundation in, you're going to learn faster. Okay, so try and get the foundation. It's going to help you learn faster. So we'll send you some tax books, or we can send you a Google form. Next, you want to eliminate debt above 6%. If you have credit card debts or any debts above 6%, you need to invest and then borrow and then pay off those debts. Rather than take your hard-earned money and pay off the debt, you build investments and start buying investments, and then you borrow to eliminate the debt. And then once your debt's gone, now you take that payment and you jam it into your investments and you never stop buying for the rest of your life. Okay. You are using the exact strategy that wealthy people use. So anybody can do it. Okay. So how we build income, we'll show you some stuff. I gave you some positions in there. You need to learn what those things are. Don't buy something unless you understand it. Okay. And you need to raise your financial IQ and you need to become a sophisticated investor. Okay. I heard that term 20-something years ago from from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, sophisticated investor. I said, I don't know anything. All right, I got to become a sophisticated investor. Took me 25 years. Not going to take you 25 years. It might take you, what if it took you 50 hours, 100 hours? Would it be worth it to become a sophisticated investor? Okay. See, once you have that, nobody can take that away from you. Okay. You want to learn the first steps to automate your income. Okay. Baby step 1 was what is buy, borrow, die? I gave you baby step number 1. Baby step number 2 is invest $100. That's your baby step number 2. Can anyone afford to invest $100? Okay. Well, good. Here's where you do that. If you scan that code right now, it's going to take you to a company called M1 Finance. Okay. Okay. Scan that code. It'll take you to the company. This is the company we use for buying and borrowing. Okay, it's actually the same company. They talk about that article on how ordinary Americans can also buy, borrow, and die without paying taxes. This is the company we use. I just interviewed their CEO, the founder of the company. I just interviewed him, and you're going to see that on our YouTube channel. Okay, now not only can you invest and then borrow and get rid of debt, get rid of high interest debt, but you can also up a savings account. You can put $100 in that, or 1,000 or 5,000. They're going to pay you 5% interest on it, and it's insured up to $3.75 million. Okay, so right away, I just gave you lots of stuff. You can go make lots of money just what I showed you right now. I just raise your financial IQ, and I'm teaching you to fish. Okay, and now you need to automate your income. That was the next goal. Okay, protect your family, life insurance, long-term care, very important. Very important. If you don't do it, you could lose all your assets. And guess what? There's more taxes coming to you guys if you don't purchase long-term care. Okay, they're rolling out taxes across the United States, more taxes now if you don't purchase it. So we talk about this in my book called Top 25 Ways. It's a way to avoid taxes. And also you can text the word taxes to 833-455-4540, and also we can shoot you a chapter right now, so you can text us, you can scan the code, you can take the first steps to raising your financial IQ, you can open up a brokerage account. Remember, retirement accounts do not work for this strategy. So you're not opening up a retirement account, you're opening up a regular taxable brokerage account. Okay, is the only way that it works for this buy, borrow, stray. Right? Great philosopher Chris Rock said, you don't pay taxes, they take taxes. Well, that's true. You just don't know how to avoid them, okay, legally. Okay, so cool. Continue learning. Follow our YouTube channel, P2 Wealth. I haven't done much on there. I'm too busy writing the book. We're doing other things. I haven't had a chance. But again, we'll have our interview with the founder of M1 Finance on there. We're going to put this on there, and we'll try and do some more content for the YouTube channel as we get further into the year. So the cost of the course is going to be $2,495 in the future. I don't know if it depends on how busy we get. Okay, at least for me, training it live, I only have so many hours in the day. When we write the other book, I don't know how busy we're going to get. But currently, right now, the course is on sale for $2,195. Okay, in the future, it is definitely going up in price, and that's because I only have so many hours in the day. Okay, now I have a challenge for you guys. Find me a university where you can go to school for 4 years and spend $100,000 and you can learn this. I guarantee they don't exist. You can spend $100,000 going to a fancy university, and they will never teach you these strategies. So pay $100,000 or consider this course. Which one's more expensive? Okay. Now here's the crazy part. What if I told you you can pay for this course with none of your own money and pay taxes. Let's say you had a brokerage account. You could transfer the brokerage account into M1, press the borrow button. That would be $2,195. You could create it, send it to your bank account. You didn't pay taxes on the money. Hopefully, if you're a business owner, you can write that $2,195 off on your tax return. You just created tax returns on money you didn't have to work for, and it cost you none of your money to pay for the course. See, it's about thinking differently. And rich people think very differently. They use other people's money to pay for business expenses. And they use other people because other people's money is tax-free and working hard is highly taxed. Okay. Now, the associate that invited you, they're going to get paid. It's like $495 or something like that. If you enroll in the course, they're making some money. Hope you're okay with that. They didn't do it because we have that there, but they did it because they want to help you. If somebody invited you here, and well, pretty cool. Learning more, next 2 classes, come back, man. You saw a class here, come back to the orientation, come back to the class 1, keep learning. We don't charge you a dime. Okay, we'll give you tons of amazing content. You can run off and hopefully you'll say, man, that perfect portfolio, I saw their stuff and I became wealthy and I learned how to do it. Or you can continue in the next classes. I will personally do a financial needs analysis for you. We'll analyze your finances and we'll teach you how to implement the strategy. Okay, we're not going to give you financial advice, but we'll teach you the steps on how to implement the strategy, systematize it for you so you can go off. You don't need us anymore, and you have an exact system to learn buy, borrow, die with those 5 assets that I told you. And we'll show you how to not pay taxes on your real estate, not pay taxes on your W-2, 1099, dividend income. All those things are possible with the next 5 classes. And there you go. So anyways, you learned something today, at least come back to the next 2 classes. We don't charge you, and then decide if you want to go through with the course. Sound fair? Okay. We'll also have a specialist guest speaker, maybe 2, and you also just become part of our community. Okay. Once you're in our community, you're hanging out with people that are learning it. You learn much faster, and you hear other people that are winning, and they're like, wow, this course is doing amazing. And you're around a community of people that are building their own perfect portfolio. Okay. 2 guys in the course. One guy came in, he was a mortgage broker. Good guy, good friend of mine. Met him in California. He was a mortgage broker. He built his perfect portfolio. He was like, man, I can retire pretty soon. And then he had a heart attack. Okay. He would have been financially devastated without this course. Okay. After 32 years in a mortgage broker, he had a heart attack. You know what he did? He called me, he goes, Mark, I had a heart attack. I'm not dead, but I'm actually okay because I don't need to work anymore. Okay. So cool stuff, huh? All right. Robert's 25 years, 25 years. One of the largest financial services companies in the country, in the retirement, and actually in the world, one of the largest financial and retirement planning companies in the entire world for 25 years. Never heard of buy, borrow, die, ever. Okay, came in, he just saw it. He goes, man, I know how to do that. Boom, came in the course, $1,500 a month just by moving stuff around, buying and borrowing. Immediately increased his cash flow $1,500 a month. Okay, by the way, back then the course was $1,500. So, okay, so Bob loves this stuff. Okay, so that's 2 guys, one 32 years in the financial industry, in the mortgage industry, one 25 years at one of the largest financial services companies in the world. Okay, came in the course, blown away. Now, there's 3 different versions of the course. Okay, so when there's different versions of the course, which version is right for you? Okay, and you guys get to decide. Learn at your own pace. Okay, you're like, man, I'm a busy schedule. I just want to learn. Great. It's a video course. We just developed that because we're going to grow so fast with the book coming out. We said, let's get the video course together and you can learn at your own pace. 2, the live course. This one's happening right now. I don't know when we're going to do this live again. I don't know. It might be at the end of the year. Maybe we'll do it one more time. If we get too busy, it might be the first of next year. I don't know. Not sure when we're going to do this again. Okay, depending on how busy my schedule gets. So anyways, at least you have this one where you get to come in and one-on-one, we do your do your financial needs analysis. We kind of coach you on it and you go much faster. That's the live course. Okay, mastermind course. This is for people that are higher net worth. Okay. This is for people that might have that $5 million 401k tax problem and they don't know how to tackle it. Or somebody who's making a lot of money and their CPA and financial advisor have no idea what to do. Okay. This is where the mastermind course, this is for more high net worth individuals. So let's look at the differences. First one is just a pre-recorded version, 400, it's usually $899. We put on sale $497. We just launched it. It's the recorded version of the course. There's a bunch of Q&A. You can do it on your own pace. You can record it back and forth. There's knowledge test quizzes, access to the alumni community, invitation to mastermind seminars. We're always going to be doing cool stuff in the future. We'll invite you back to that, and you can just kind of learn at your own pace and just implement these things. Okay. And, you know, $497 for the recorded course. You can scan that there if you're like, that's the option that I want. Okay. There's an affiliate referral program. If you're like, man, I want to do this. I love this thing. I'm going to promote it to other people. Boom. You get 10% of the tuition that comes back to you if you want to become an affiliate. Live course happening right now. Okay, again, you go through 3 classes, no problem. If you decide, it's $2,195. Okay, we look at your finances, do the analysis, you run through the courses, and you're going to learn very fast. Okay, very, very fast. I will meet with you personally. We'll have lots of Q&As, live questions, become part of our community, go in our WhatsApp group, wherever it is, and you'll learn much faster.
And one thing too, Mark, for students who are interested in a live course, but the $2,195 is hard as a one-time thing. We actually do offer payment through Klarna, so you can split it up over 4 payments. So
cool.
just bear that in mind. If you want to do the live course, but you're kind of concerned about the price, you can actually spread that out through Klarna.
Awesome. All right, cool. AJ, CFO, COO, and incredible guy. Like, wow, this company would not exist without Danilo, AJ, and Rolly for sure. Okay, it would just not exist. So yeah, very cool stuff. The mastermind course, that's for somebody who's got a big tax problem, right? Somebody who has a huge tax problem. I talked with a guy who pays $36,000 a year for his taxes because he's complicated corporations and they're still not doing a good job. I'm like, you kidding me? Okay. So again, I talked with a guy who has $4.4 million in his tax deferred retirement account. Okay. And he's 64. That guy's going to end up paying huge amounts. So here's how this works. Somebody says, I'm higher net worth. I've got a tax problem. I got a big 401k. We a lot of my time, personal analysis. We do everything. We dig into it. I will make my connections to my personal CPA. If we need it, we'll use oil and gas. I will use my connections to set up the best deals for depreciation to wipe out tax liabilities. I will literally look every single detail of your finances and figure out every single possible strategy to help you eliminate taxes. Now, there's a guarantee of 10 times the value. Okay, so we guarantee that we'll get you at least $250,000 of value. If we can't, we're not going to let you join the course. If we say, you know what, your finances, you don't have that big of a tax problem, we can't do it, just go with the $2,195. Okay, if we know we can get your results and you're high net worth, great. Okay, you'll have an invitation to all future mastermind seminars, free advanced strategy membership Zoom classes. We do some advanced stuff every now and then. The stock market crashes, I know how to make money really fast. We'll have a sort of an elite group that with the mastermind group. Introductions to investment advisors, tax specialists, hedge fund managers, investment management by people responsible for the top performing ETFs created in the marketplace. I interview a bunch of fund managers, and so you get that's the best of the best right there. Okay, so again, if you want to do the 497, learn as you go. You're like, you know what? I need a little more personalized guidance. $24.95. You're like, man, I got a big tax deal, making lots of money. We'll guarantee you 10 times the value. 25,000. We'll guarantee you 250,000. Okay, so pretty good return on your money. Okay, all right, there it is. Learn at your own pace. Okay. And everything from the learn at your own pace to the live course and then the mastermind course. Okay. All right. And if you want to look at it, you can go back on our YouTube channel. We'll have this on the YouTube channel probably tomorrow. Okay. And if there's somebody else that you wanted to, man, you missed this thing, you got to check it out. We'll send you it, or you can go to the YouTube channel and you can refer people to it. If you join the course and you bring somebody else, we'll also pay you because you're an existing student. Okay, if you invite other people. But again, this is probably the last time for a while that I'll be doing this live. All right, question for you guys. Okay, big question. Did we raise your financial IQ? Okay. Did we raise your financial IQ more in the last hour than we have in the past 10 years? I don't know. Okay. So raising your financial IQ. Did we raise your financial IQ? Did we change your thinking? Did we change your thinking? Okay. So what is going on with that? All right. So anyways, if we raise your financial IQ and we change your thinking, then that's really a successful day. And on that, I hope you guys are excited, man. I was when I learned this stuff, I was very excited. I remember the first time I pressed the borrow button and created money. It kind of blew my mind a little bit. So anyways, thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys learned incredibly cool stuff. And I hope you guys see you in the next class, orientation, next class. We don't charge you anything. And then, of course, reach out to us and if you want to do it yourself, just let us know. Message Norelvi, and she can help coordinate our schedules. And if you're just like ready to go, like, man, I want to jump into this thing, let us know. You can either go through the next classes and pay when there, or you're like, I want to do this, let us know, and we can jump into it and we'll start working with you. I'll personally work with you, one-on-one, based on either the live class or the membership. So, all right. Have a great evening, guys. And I guess we'll see you guys next Wednesday for the orientation class. I guess. Have a great night.